This is Jay Hunt from Merge Media, back with another episode of The Digital Hunter. In this week's episode, we're actually going to break down creating audiences within Facebook. I've been receiving a lot of questions about this. A lot of people look at the custom audiences as being this complicated thing. It's really not. It's quite simple, and it's so important and so imperative that you do it. Historically speaking, in the campaigns that I've run, I've noticed that custom and lookalike audiences perform so much better than interest-based audiences. So we're going to run through just the various types of audiences that you can create within Facebook and some of the assets that you'll need to give Facebook in order to create these custom audiences. Okay. The thing about custom audiences and lookalike audiences is that Facebook has so much data on your target audience. They have so much data on their users that, Facebook knows a lot more about your target audience and your best customers than you do. Facebook has an idea on the movies they watch and the books they read and whether or not they have a tendency to click through content and convert on content. Facebook has that data. So what we want to do with a lookalike audience is basically it's a cold audience that we're bringing people into your funnel. And Facebook has this data that they collect from these people that look like your ideal customers or look like those people hitting your website and collects them and puts them in a pool of people that would be a cold audience. So without further ado, I'm going to break into it here and show you some of the custom audiences that we have created. And I'm actually going to go ahead and create an audience as well. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got, this is from Merge Media, my digital marketing agency. We've got tons of different types of audiences already created. Everything from, we have our lookalikes off of people that have hit our website in the last 6 months, to lookalikes off of people that have called our number, as well as lookalikes of our lead list and client list, which is obviously a very warm list of people. That lookalike would actually perform really, really well because we're going out there and telling Facebook to go find those people that look exactly like those people that are paying us a monthly retainer fee. So Facebook's going to go out there and find people that are of similar interests, similar demographic, similar age group, all that type of stuff. Okay, these percentages, we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's also important to note as well. Basically, what that is how deep do you want Facebook to scrape that audience? So a 1% audience is going to be much smaller than a 10% audience, which is just very light on that scraping of that list that you provide Facebook. Okay. Now, obviously, setting up custom audiences like having that pixel, that thank you page, that Facebook pixel on that thank you page is very important. So Facebook knows when somebody goes through the process of being a lead or conversion that they hit a certain page, and that triggers that back to Facebook. Okay. Also, we're going to break into one today. I'm going to show you one that we want to create for people that have watched a percentage of our video content. So I'll get right into that one right now. So creating an audience, we're going to create a custom audience. And as you can see here, you have all these different options. You have people that have hit your website. You have a customer list that you can submit to Facebook. Also, the one that we're going to look into today is video, which we'll get into in a second. But you can also create audiences around those people that are engaging on your Instagram profile, as well as people that have submitted a lead form or hit a lead form on your Facebook page, as well as those people that are engaging on your Facebook content, people that are sharing, engaging on any of that Facebook content that you have out there. You can build an audience around those people. So today we're just going to go to a video. So basically what I want to do is I want to tell Facebook to collect those people that have watched either 15 seconds of a video or watched our video through to completion. Okay, this is important because, really, a lot of our video content, some of it's long-tailed, some of it's short-tailed. If you're putting up, a 1-minute video on Facebook, you might want to capture people watching at least 50% of a 1-minute video. But if you're uploading, say, a 5-minute video, you might have a very small amount of people watching 50% of a 5-minute video. So it might be in your best interest to capture people watching, maybe 25% or maybe even like 15 seconds of that video, right? To get them over to that next stage in their customer journey. Okay. So now it's going to ask me to choose some videos. I'm just going to go ahead and just choose a ton of different videos that that we have released recently, and just basically tell Facebook to go ahead, and I want to put all of the people that have watched 15 seconds of any of these videos into an audience. Okay. So we'll just choose those 10 for lack of time. Typically, I would probably go in there and choose either just one of these videos or all of them. But in this case here, we'll just choose those 10, and we're going to confirm it. And we're going to say anybody that watched these videos in the last 90 days. Okay, and we'll say video viewers, 90 days, miscellaneous videos. Now I'm just giving an audience name. We're going to have to refer to that later on when we're creating our campaigns. We might want to name it just for the sake of organization. So make sure you give it a name that you understand and it differentiates itself from all the other audience names that you're going to have. Okay. We're going to go ahead and create that audience. It's going to take about 30 minutes for the audience to be actually ready to use. Ideally, what you want to do is you know what I mean? You might want to for lack of time, I'd like to make a lookalike off of that, but we can't exactly do it right now because it's populating. And typically what's going to happen is if you want to create an audience, you have to have a list. Let's say it's an email list that you have or a customer list. They say that list needs to be at least 100 people at a minimum, or you're not even going to be able to create that custom audience. Facebook's going to tell you the audience size is not big enough. So you might need to get creative in creating that list to get to a point where it's big enough to create that custom audience. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and create a lookalike audience now. Select the source. So we can pick anybody that's watched. Let's see here. Video views. Let's say video views, short video views. You know what? We're going to go with, yeah, we'll just do that one there. 15-second short video views, February 2020. Audience location, we're going to choose Canada. You can choose North America if you want as well. Maybe we'll just go ahead and pick all of North America for that one. And then you can select audience size. So as you see here, you can choose a number of lookalike audiences, right? So the smaller that audience, like I said, means the more Facebook's going to scrape down to find all the exact interests of those people that are on your list or within that audience that you're choosing. Okay. So this may narrow it down as far as the exact age. It could be 36 to 38 years old. It could be people living in a specific area in Toronto, for example. Or it's going to look right down at some of those interests that all of those people in, the Facebook groups that those people are a part of, pages that they follow, all that sort of stuff. Okay. Typically, I like to always do an audience that's really small, 1%, but I also like to select a couple audiences, and I'll do one that's about 1 to 5% as well, which, as you can see down here, the estimated reach is going to be a lot bigger. I'm a huge fan of targeting a bigger audience on Facebook. The reason for that is I want to give Facebook the ability to choose who my ads should get in front of. Okay. Facebook, the algorithm's constantly improving. It's constantly changing. I trust the Facebook algorithm that it's going to put my ads in front of the best people at the lowest possible cost. A lot of people like to narrow down that audience to just like 30 or 40,000 people. Whenever you do that, it's just making it very hard for Facebook to put your ads in front of the right person at the best cost, especially if you're on a tight budget, spending like anywhere of $10 to $20 a day, which is not a high budget. Okay, so if you're spending $10 to $20 a day on Facebook ads, you got to be hitting a very open net or open pool audience. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create that audience, and in this case here, good, perfect. It's going to create that custom audience now, which is great. So I'm going to have to wait until that is completed before I can start running ads at it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, anytime you're going to create a campaign, make as many lookalike audiences as you can and just test. That's the key. Test, because you're never really going to know who the perfect audience is to target until you get those conversions coming in and the Facebook data speaks for itself. Okay. And like I said, test video views, test engagers, test, even IG engagers are different than Facebook page engagers. It's two totally separate groups of people. And, your ads may convert better with an IG audience. It doesn't mean those IG people, that ad is going to show on IG. It might show on Facebook, but it's going to show to that custom audience of people that are typically IG engagers. Okay. Awesome. And if you have any other questions about custom audiences, about lookalike audiences, or getting those audience set up and starting to build out a campaign, you know where to reach me, jason@merge.ca. Just slide into my DMs, ask me a question. And another thing I want to bring up, if you don't listen to our podcast yet, make sure you check it out, merge.ca/podcast. We have some really exciting guests coming up in the next few weeks, and we're about to hit our 25th episode in the next few weeks. So that's super exciting as well. Okay. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. Be good.